Oh, hello. You might be wondering what all of this is about. Leo, what are you doing? Sorry, there was a cat up the tree. On, you can get down yourself. Where was I? Let me introduce myself. My name is Lucy. I am the creatrix of soul mapping and soul code creation. Soul mapping is a creative, intuitive, symbolic reading of your birth chart. But before your brain immediately goes, "Oh cool, so you're going to tell me I'm a Scorpio, and that's why I accidentally stalked my ex's Instagram at 2 a.m. Not quite. This goes much deeper, like finding an old diary in the attic and reading it cover to cover, realising you've been repeating the same soul lessons for 3 decades deeper. Soul mapping doesn't just look at your sun sign or the astrology basics, it explores the deeper patterns woven through your chart. The archetypes, gifts, wounds, strengths, shadowy corners, cosmic plot twists, and soul invitations that keep showing up through your life wearing different disguises. Stick around because one of you lucky humans is going to win your very own soul mapping journey. This work is for the human that knows there's a whole universe inside them, trying to get their attention, the human who feels like they're standing on the edge of becoming something more authentic, more powerful, more themselves, the one who knows there's more to their story than the roles they've been playing and the labels they've collected, or the strategies that they've perfected. The human who survived things they never talk about at dinner parties. The creative, the healer, the deep feeler, the rebel, the one who has always felt slightly allergic to fitting inside society's pre-approved boxes. The person who was told they were too much when really they were simply operating at a frequency that made other people uncomfortable. The human who is ready to stop surviving themselves and start remembering themselves. Soul mapping isn't about telling you who you are. Your soul already knows that, doesn't it? It's about helping you remember because somewhere between childhood conditioning, people-pleasing, survival mode, heartbreak, self-doubt, and the emotional junk drawer where we keep all our stored, unresolved issues next to random phone chargers and mysterious keys that we no longer recognise, we forget our magic, we forget our medicine, we forget our own story. Through your chart, we explore your inner landscape, your emotional patterns, your creative gifts, your relationship with power, your wounds around worth, visibility, safety, love, and self-expression, your goddess archetypes, your soul codes, your hidden strengths, the parts of you waiting patiently in the wings saying, hello, are we ever going to stop shrinking and do the thing that we came here to do? Then I translate all of that into language, imagery, symbolism, and insights that speaks not just to your mind, but to your body, heart, and soul. Because let's be honest, most of us do not need another podcast, self-help book, or 47th saved Instagram post about healing. Most of us aren't suffering from a lack of wisdom. We're suffering from an overstocked spiritual pantry and a shortage of self-trust. What we need is recognition, reflection, a mirror, a symbol, a map, a sacred breadcrumb trail leading us back to ourselves, because sometimes the most powerful thing isn't learning something new, it's remembering something ancient that was inside you all along. And if your soul has been dropping hints, sending synchronicities, causing mild existential curiosity, and generally refusing to be ignored any longer, you don't have to wait for the giveaway. We could uncover the stories hiding beneath the surface right now. So, why am I offering this? Because I know what it feels like to have an entire galaxy happening inside you and absolutely no instruction manual. I know what it feels like to be carrying around sensitivity, intuition, creativity, grief, rage, wild ideas, existential questions, and approximately 17 different versions of yourself, all trying to speak at once, like an emotional group chat that never stops pinging. It's wild. I know what it feels like to sense that there's something deeper moving through your life, but nobody ever handed you a map, or a compass, or even one of those little "you are here" stickers. Just vibes, emotional damage, approximately 10 existential crises disguised as personal growth, and a cosmic breadcrumb trail. Unfortunately, the breadcrumbs appeared to have been scattered by a drunk squirrel. For years, I was trying to figure myself out with the persistence of someone trapped in an automated customer service loop. I had questions. The universe said, press 1 for life lesson, press 2 for another life lesson, and press 3 to repeat the previous life lesson. My nervous system repeatedly requested to speak to management. Then astrology appeared, not just as enlightenment, more like a cosmic incident report explaining why I've been simultaneously craving deep soul connection, complete independence, financial abundance, someone to read my mind and hug me, adventure, stability, transformation, snacks, a nap, and the overwhelming urge to disappear into a forest and become a witch, revenge, and to fight everyone who messaged me back with K. And honestly, it cleared a lot up. It felt like discovering that some of the things that I spent years apologising for were actually written into my cosmic blueprint. My chart didn't fix me. It didn't sprinkle fairy dust on my problems and turn me into a permanently enlightened woodland creature, even though I look like one right now. Or someone who meditates at sunrise and always remembers to drink enough water. I still lose my keys. I still overthink WhatsApp messages, and I still occasionally have conversations with the universe that sound suspiciously like complaints. But astrology gave me a language and a way to meet myself. It showed me patterns. It helped me understand my gifts. It helped me stop treating my depth like a design flaw. And, perhaps most importantly, it helped me realise that some of the things that I thought made me too much were actually part of my medicine. The intensity, the sensitivity, the imagination, the weirdness, the ability to feel 57 emotions before breakfast. Turns out those weren't bugs in the system, they were special features. Soul mapping is my way of offering a creative and intuitive exploration of the deeper patterns, archetypes, gifts, wounds, and soul themes woven through your birth chart. It's a mirror, a map, a sacred breadcrumb trail, leading you back to yourself. It's where astrology meets mythology, where goddess archetypes meet symbolism, where intuition meets storytelling, and where the soul finally gets a chance to explain itself. In soul mapping, I work with goddess archetypes in the birth chart. These can include archetypes such as Sedna, Artemis, Hecate, Lilith, Iris, Juno, Pallas Athena, Vesta, Persephone, and many others. So many. Think of them as ancient, energetic characters living in the grand Netflix series of your soul. Each one carries a different frequency, story, lesson, and medicine. Some speak to sovereignty, some to grief. Some speak to rage, some speak to creativity, devotion, sexuality, intuition, and transformation, boundaries, visibility, or sacred purpose. And trust me, these goddesses are not subtle. Nobody invites Lilith into their chart and gets a quiet little lesson about people-pleasing. Lilith arrives like she's got emotional receipts, boundary issues to resolve, and absolutely no interest in being agreeable. It's like adopting a dragon and expecting it to help with your taxes. When one of these archetypes is strongly placed in your chart, it can point to a powerful soul theme that has been quietly weaving itself through your life for years. For example, Sedna may speak to wounds around abandonment, betrayal, survival, worth, and the long journey back to deep self-trust. Artemis may speak to independence, wildness, sacred autonomy, fierce protection, and the part of you that would rather wander through a forest than attend another pointless meeting. Hecate may speak to thresholds, endings, initiations, crossroads, and the wisdom that comes from walking through the dark and emerging with a lantern like a spiritually upgraded badass. Persephone often arrives when life is asking you to descend into your own underworld, meet yourself more honestly, and stop pretending you're fine when your soul is clearly staging an intervention. Athena may appear as the strategist, wisdom keeper, the inner CEO desperately trying to get your life organized while the rest of your personality is running around setting random fires and following shiny distractions. These archetypes are not here to make life sound dramatic for no reason, although, let's be honest, some of them absolutely enter the chat like they've arrived on a black horse through a thunderstorm, carrying 25 generations of ancestral baggage and blasting a playlist called Transformation Through Chaos. What they offer is perspective. They help us understand the deeper myth we may be living. They reveal where we have been wounded, where we adapted to survive, where we abandoned parts of ourselves, where we learned to shrink, hide, perform, seek approval, and where we're being invited to reclaim our power. This is why archetypal work can feel so validating. Suddenly, the pieces start to make sense. The intensity you've always felt, the sensitivity you tried to hide, the anger you were taught was too much, the grief that never quite had a place to land, the creative longing that keeps tapping you on the shoulder at inconvenient moments while you're trying to answer emails and be a responsible adult. You begin to realize that these parts of you are not random character flaws. They may be clues. They may be gifts. They may be part of your medicine, because sometimes healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about recognizing the ancient forces that are already moving through you and finally saying, that's why I've always been like this. Well, that explains a lot. And this is where things get really interesting. So, what is a soul code? Well, because some things are too important to leave floating around in your head, a soul map can become a soul code. A soul code is a sigil. A soul code sigil is a symbol created from the energy of the stories, archetypes, patterns, gifts, and soul messages revealed through your soul map. Think of it as your soul's signature, a visual distillation of everything that your soul has been trying to tell you. Your soul code is created with intention. Every line, shape, symbol, and element carries meaning, woven together into a visual language unique to you. It's a symbolic... Hi, Bee. Hello. Okay, where was I? It's a symbolic reminder of your medicine, your strengths, your growth, your archetypes, the parts of yourself that you may have forgotten, and the parts of yourself that are quietly waiting for permission to take up more space. It can be used as a meditation focus, placed somewhere meaningful, as a daily reminder, used in ritual, reflection, journaling, or intention setting, or simply treasured as a beautiful piece of soul art that carries your story. Because sometimes we don't need another list of things to fix about ourselves. Sometimes we need a symbol, a touchstone, and a map leading us back home to who we really are. Your soul has spent a lifetime slaying dragons, healing ancestral nonsense, and completing side quests worthy of a fantasy novel. It deserves its own sigil. And your soul code sigil can become a tattoo design. Something that you carry on your body as a sacred reminder of who you are, what you've survived, and what you're becoming. This is about meaning. It's about turning your inner world into something visible and tangible, something you can return to when life gets noisy and your soul starts feeling like it's been put on hold, listening to cosmic elevator music, giving shape to things you've always felt but never quite had words for. If you'd like to weave your soul code into your skin as a tattoo, well, that's my favourite kind of magic. Because, what do you know? I just so happen to be a tattoo artist too, not the universe casually connecting the dots. I specialise in the soulful art of handpoke tattooing, creating intentional pieces that carry meaning, story, and symbolism beneath the skin. So, if your soul code starts whispering, "Excuse me, I would very much like to become permanent," we can absolutely have that conversation. Because sometimes a soul code wants to live on paper, sometimes it wants to live on an altar. Sometimes it wants to become part of your body, a living symbol, sacred reminder, and a visual anchor for the wisdom, healing gifts, and truths that you've reclaimed along the way. After all, if you've spent a lifetime carrying ancient wounds, goddess codes, and becoming more fully yourself through chaotic, cosmic assignments, and at least 3 identity crises, why not honour yourself on that journey with something beautifully meaningful and uniquely yours? So if your soul has been dropping hints or repeatedly whispering, there is definitely more to this story. Consider this your sign. If you're feeling called to explore your soul map, uncover your archetypes, create your soul code, or even tattoo your soul's symbolism into your skin, I'd love to guide you through the journey. So get in touch, send me your questions, bring your curiosity, bring your beautiful, complicated, magnificent self. We'll start there. Soul mapping and soul code creation inquiries are now open. If you'd like to enter the giveaway to win a soul map journey, follow both my pages, like and save this post, tag a friend or 2, and comment with 1 word that describes where you are in your journey right now. For example, healing, rebuilding, remembering, expanding, awakening, spiraling, whatever. Share to your stories and tag Cosmic Soul Code for an extra entry. And if you really can't wait, then just send me a message to explore the different soul mapping and soul code journey options. And let's uncover the story your soul has been trying to tell you all along. Good luck. I love you. Have a great day.